Hi everyone, and welcome back to Pokemon Club. Since spring is coming, I'm going to show you how to take your recycled plastic bottles and make them into Bulbasaur planters. I'm going to use a 2-liter bottle, but you can use any size plastic bottle that you have. The first thing you want to do is make sure you take your label off. Don't worry too much about the extra paper because you're going to paint over it. You're also going to need some acrylic paint to make your green paint, paint brushes, some scissors, and then a paint palette or a plate or something you can mix paint on. To get started, I'm going to trace the shape of the Bulbasaur onto my bottle. And you can make this any size you want, depending on how deep you want your planter and what kind of plants you want to put in here. And even if it's not perfectly straight all around, you can fix that as you're cutting it. And so that's what it looks like so far. You can kind of see the Sharpie lines. You don't want to forget his ears. Make sure your Bulbasaur has ears. This was a little hard to cut into using just the scissors, so I ended up taking a small box cutter and creating a small cut in the bottle to then use the scissors to cut all the way around. But after that, the scissors worked perfectly and I was able to create the shape that I needed. Okay, so here's what it looks like so far. And I think I'm going to go around and make the edges a little more even, and then we'll get started on the paint. Okay, I've got my green paints all mixed, and we're just going to cover the whole thing in green paint. This might take a couple coats because the paint doesn't always grip onto the plastic bottle very well, so you might have to do this a few times. Okay, there's the first coat. We're going to let that completely dry and then come back for the second coat. So you can see how much better it already looks with 2 coats of paint, but I think I'm going to let this dry and do one more full coat of paint to really give it some coverage. Okay, I think that looks much better with the 3rd coat of paint, so I'm going to let this dry and then I'll show you how to make the eyes and everything else. Okay, so now it's time to do the eyes, his mouth, and the 3 spots on his forehead. I'm going to use my little marker to sketch out exactly where I'm going to need to put paint. You can go off of a picture, that's what I did, and I'll show you once I've created all the spots. Okay, he's not going to look perfect because I messed up in a few spots, but that's okay. He's going to turn out fine anyway. So after you've sketched it all out, you're going to need a light green, a little bit of white, and then a red, but I'm going to use a red marker instead. And I will show you where to put everything once I'm done. Okay, so here's what it looks like so far. I just gotta color in the red eyes. So the light green goes in the 3 spots on the top of the forehead. The white goes on the outside of the eyes with 1 dot in the middle, and then the red will fill in all of this green inside the black boxes. Now you can also do these parts on a separate piece of like construction paper or cardboard and decorate them that way, so you have a little more control over how they'll look on the final product. But I like doing it this way because even though it's a little messy, it kind of gives him a bit of personality. With using the marker, his eyes came out a little dark, so if you're wanting a brighter red, then I would use more acrylic paint instead of the Sharpie. But here is how he looks so far. And the last thing to add is his nose and his mouth. And I think I'm going to go over the whites one more time with another layer so that it's a little brighter. Okay, so his nose is just the 2 dots, and then you can draw his mouth however you want, but don't forget his little teeth. And there's also like pictures that you can use if you want to get a more accurate drawing. And so that is how you make a Bulbasaur planter in time for spring. If you guys make one of these, make sure you share with us or tag us on social media on Facebook or on Instagram so that we can see all the hard work that you did. I would really love to see what you guys come up with and if yours looks better than mine turned out. But I think he's really cute. So I will see you guys next time for Pokemon Club. Bye!